Good morning, survivors. This is Miranda's Crafter, and I'm coming back at you again with some more Ark Survival Ascended content. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a suggestion from one of the members of my community on my last video, Leo Cotino. Could you bring information about the transfer of the official servers and how it will be for those who cannot buy or rent their own server? Yeah, this was a very good question because it's something that is front and center of the Ark Survival Evolved community right now. Some of the people that play on the Ark Survival Evolved servers, which are fixing to be shut down, have spent years and years creating their bases, working on their breeding lines, their dinos, their collections they've acquired, everything they've done for the last who knows how many years. Some of them could have been on there since day one, so you could be talking about 7 to 8 years worth of work. They need to know how they're going to be able to get those files, because Wildcard is saying that through them and Nitrado, they're going to provide a way. So yes, this is a very relevant topic right now. I was going to do some digging last night for the information that we had on hand from the latest press releases and announcements that they had made in the last few weeks and months, but luckily last night's Community Crunch had the exact answer I needed. So last night on Community Crunch 375, where they're talking about the Yiling going down, and they're also talking about the Nitrado partnership, and then they get to the section that I need, which deals with the official server saves. So remember, we're talking about the Ark Survival Evolved servers here. It says, to recap previous announcements, we will be taking save games from the official network and providing the files to you so that you can host your own server and continue the progress you've made on the official network. But you have to understand this comes with some caveats, and you have to do it the way they say, or you won't end up with the file that you're hopefully trying to get. We intend to take 2 different save snapshots. One timeline will be communicated below in this announcement, and the second will happen during the week of the official network shutdown in September. So in September, when they make the official shutdown, they'll make their second snapshot. The first one, though, which is probably the one that you want to try to take advantage of right off the bat to make sure you have all your ducks in a row. Being they're only going to do this twice, you need to make sure that you take part in both, so that if something happens the first time around and you mess it up or are not there on time or don't stay long enough on the server or something like that, you need to make sure that you have a save on both, just to cover your bases and be safe, because you sure don't want to lose that data you've spent all those years building up. The first save snapshot from the official network will happen on Friday, August 25th, 8:25 for both PC and consoles. So it doesn't specify whether Xbox, PlayStation, both. It doesn't really specify. I wish they would have, because I know there's a lot of people that are going to ask that question. Does that mean Xbox and PS5? What? I could expect anything with this group because of the way things have been handled in the past, so I'm not going to really touch that one. I'm just going to hope and pray that that means all consoles, for both PC and consoles. This process can take up to 12 hours and will start at midnight UTC. So make sure on the 25th you get you a good time converter on the web and find out when is midnight UTC versus my time. That way you make sure, and I would suggest being there a few hours early and being ready, and have your main character with your base data present on the server you want the snapshot from. Now, one of the questions that I've seen people bring up in the forums about this, I think it was Lady Taruki that said, what about people that have multiple bases on multiple servers? Because some of us have been playing on multiple servers. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't sound like that's going to be a thing. Unless you have different characters at each one, then you can set it up to where you can get a snapshot with each character on each server. I'm not really sure how that's going to work. That may be a thing that you have to pick one, but I don't know for sure if that's going to be how it happens or not, because they didn't really specify. It just says that there's going to be 2 snapshots, and it doesn't really say, in particular how that's going to work for people with multiple servers. You will need to ensure your character is on its respective server prior to the save taking place, so we recommend making sure your character is there well before midnight UTC and stays on the server for the next 12 hours, because this process is a long process, and they're saying 12 hours is good to make sure that if you're there on time, you capture the data you need to. This is extremely important right here, because a lot of people may be taking part in the upload of their items, their dinos, their characters on the Ark cloud, and they may not realize that this is a thing, but your items, dinos, and characters that have been uploaded to the cloud will not be included in the save. So make sure you go to the obelisk, download everything that you have up in the cloud that you wish to keep prior to the save, and have it at your base location. Because if it's in the cloud, it's not going to be taken part of the snapshot, so it'll be as if it never existed. The first snapshot will be provided on Wednesday, August the 30th. So shortly after, 5 days after the snapshot is taken, the first one will be available to you on Wednesday, August 30th. I don't know how that's going to be handled, but being Nitrado is exclusive provider for the PC saves, I'm assuming it's going to be through Nitrado that you do this. On Wednesday, we'll be providing access to your PC saves, and you'll also be able to directly rent a server from Nitrado who can host your PC or console saves. So it looks like they're telling you that you're basically going to have to go with Nitrado to make this process work. I don't know if they're going to provide you the file, and then because it's a Survival Evolved save, can you still use other providers? Does that exclusivity apply to that? I don't know. I'm not sure, unfortunately. Today you can go to Nitrado through this link right here, and you can pre-order your server today and save an additional 20% discount using the promo code SAVEYOURARk. You'll be able to access to all the official save games for all platforms, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, and easily import the save game with one click using the web interface. So maybe this right here means that if you have multiple bases and characters on different servers, maybe you can pick and choose which one you would want to load up on your server. I'm not really sure what that really means when you break it all down. Whether you're going to have access to one file for each server that had ever existed at the time of the shutdown. I guess that would be sort of a solution for people that have multiple bases and characters on different servers, because at least then they might be able to load one up on a map, and if they could afford it, I guess they could rent a different server for the other ones, or they might be able to swap back and forth. If you've ever ran a Nitrado server before, you know that there's a mechanic in place to be able to allow you to upload different backups and saves of servers using files within the console control panel. That might be the same mechanic to allow you to upload these files. So it's a pretty simple process. Hopefully it will allow them to have the choice to choose, from what server they want. That way they don't have to make that hard choice as far as, will I ever see this character in this base again? well, if I get desperate enough to play it, I guess if all else failed, I could load it up on a different server or change maps on the one I currently rent. I don't know. That's just me talking in thin air there without knowing, because this article really doesn't go into detail about that issue. It sounds like it's a similar process as to what you use now to use your backups or saves, because it's basically just a one-click web interface where you choose the file you want to back up or roll back to. So it's probably going to be a pretty similar thing. You'll have access to a comprehensive guide and frequently asked questions telling you everything you need to know about hosting servers. And then for more information, please visit this page where they go into more detail. The pre-order and promo code are not available for Xbox. Again, doesn't say anything about any other console, so I'm not really sure why that is. Remember, we'll be taking another save snapshot during the week of the official network shutdown in September in preparation for Ark Survival Evolved's October release, with more details to come at a later date. So it sounds like there's more stuff to come to let us know. But this is the official server save announcement as of right now. This came out last night, so this is the most up-to-date data there is on this question. I mean, I don't know how they really... I'm going to give them credit and say thank you that they're even trying to do this for their customers, because a lot of games, if they were to close servers, they would just say, you know, hey, we realize you spent years building this data. Thank you for your patronage. We're closing the servers, you know, sorry. At least with Ark and Wildcard, they are trying to allow the customer to have their data, and that's, you know, you got to give them props for that. I am thankful that they're at least trying to do that for their community. How this will work out with the network and the server renting exclusivity, your guess is as good as mine on that one, because we really just don't have enough detailed, concrete answers at this time to answer all those questions. Like, because this is a Survival Evolved save, will I be able to still use G-Portal? Who knows? Not sure how that one's going to work. If it was a Survival Ascended save, then we could definitely say no, you will not, because Nitrado has exclusivity on that. Whether or not they maintain exclusivity on the Survival Evolved saves, that's still to be seen. That's a question that's still kind of up in the air. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this content, and I just want to say thank you to my community member that asked this question and asked me to make a video on this. I appreciate the ideas for the content, and I always am looking for ways to provide you with what you're wanting as a community. So don't be afraid to make comments on the videos, ask for things. Leave your comments. Let's talk about these things, because, hey, this is important to us. This is something we love. Ark Survival Ascended is going to be a whole new world for us. And, of course, we want to talk about how it's going to work out and things like that. So if this content has helped you, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe so that you can be aware when I make content in the future, and to also help push my content out to other viewers. It would greatly be appreciated. So thank you for your time, and I will talk to you later.